I can remember a time where I was dealing with a male in his later in life that was going through some depression because he had lost his job. He lost his job because he had been drinking and using drugs, opiates. He had gotten into a car accident and it had taken over his life. By the time he came to us, he lost his job, he was losing his marriage, and we were the last place for him to go. He had actually contemplated multiple times saying, I want to end my life. He had lost his relationship with his children. He was using drugs to cope with his depression. His depression and of losing the things that he loved most. We tried to convince him that he needed to, in my approach is, a lot of times people would say you only need to, as long as you got substances out of your life, then everything will be okay. In my belief and the way I treat the person is, I don't believe that. I think we have to work at it simultaneously. So I was like, we need to work on your recovery. We also need to work on what's causing this depression and how we can improve this depression for you. And one aspect of his goals that he wanted was to improve his relationship with his kids. So fortunately, through family program and inviting them into family program and having an individual one-on-one session, we were able to make amends and have him be able to talk about, for him, what his losing the relationship of his children and what it did and how it impacted him. And they were able to forgive for the first time. They had spent years of watching him abuse himself with alcohol and drugs. And this was the first time that they got the chance to have their voice. And then I got to watch them actually reunite as a family again. This is funny, and this sounds like an old country song, but I'm going to tell you, from losing his job to losing his wife and losing his children, he got his job back, he got his kids back, he got his life back, and at the end of the day, he got his relationship back with his wife. It was a huge transformation. And not only does he take away drugs and alcohol, it's because he changed his attitude and his mentality and his mindset. That's what I saw the biggest change from. You can sometimes take away the drugs and alcohol, but if you're still a bitter person, you're still a bitter person. But once you change that mindset, that's when things improve too.